late for a very important date. I'm late for a very important date. That date is Rovers against Millwall coming up Wednesday. I've got the preview coming up next. That's right, folks, back once again with another match preview. This I'm looking forward to Blackburn Rovers match up against Millwall at Ewood Park, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, whoa, football related in the bloody house. That's right, no car no more. We're on the bloody house. Back at home, of course, just in time for, of course, Millwall's visit to Ewood Park. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Of course, one big shout out to the Patreon gang working behind the bloody scenes. I do appreciate the support, guys. Of course, we actually had a new one quite recently. Humphrey became the latest member of the Patreon gang, coming up to 23 now. So a big shout out to him, of course. So yes, let's talk about it. It is this game right here, of course. Rovers up against Millwall. Of course, Millwall managed by, of course, Gary Rowett these days, and they currently sit themselves. Where are they in the league? I think they currently find themselves. I've got the league table right in front of me. They're doing all right. Not brilliant. Just below Rovers at the moment, I think. According to my eyes, they're in the 11th spot. Rovers up to 9th at the moment. And actually, just want to give you a bit of inside information about this. Again, we are actually throwing this one together. It's not really the usual preview because we're behind times a little bit. But Mowbray's actually managed against Gallagher just 2 times. He's won 1 and he lost once, of course, but his record against Millwall was a little bit better. Actually managed against Millwall 13 times, winning 6, losing 4, and picking up 3 draws to boot. We're picking up around about 1.6 points per game, of course. So yes, it'll be locking horns once again at Ewood Park. These two sides, of course. So far, a quick look at some stats and figures there for you as we edge closer to kick off. Rovers still banging around about 2 goals a game compared to Millwall's 1. On the flip side, of course, we're actually picking up on average about 15 shots compared to their 11. We'll take a look at we'll break down those stats a little bit more detail a little bit later. Of course, 2 yellow cards so far on average per Rovers compared to 1 for Millwall. We pick up around about 6 corners per game compared to their 5, 13 fouls as well. Aerial success is around about even Stevens, 53% success rate for both sides. Also get more possession than Millwall, 57% compared to their 47%. Pass success rate is also quite high, 80% compared to the 72 as well. That's, of course, a little bit of the tail of the tape behind the scenes, but of course it does take place right here at Ewood Park. Of course, no fans still, even though I think today is the day. Is it the day, or is it the 5th of December? I don't know. Whenever the new rules out in the UK where some fans are allowed back in some venues, and I think if this game was to be played at Millwall, there might be allowed some fans in the stands. But again, I don't know the rules and about that. I'm behind the times a little bit. Again, it does take place right here at Ewood Park, of course. So let's take a closer look then at those stats. So here we go, boys. Let's take a closer look first and foremost at the attacking avenues for both sides here. Coming in a nutshell sort of stuff here. 39% of all attacking avenues for Rovers coming down the left, 36 down the right, and 25% down the middle. As for Millwall, a bit of the opposite really. 39% down the right, 36% down the left, and 25% down the middle. You know, it's kind of like a mirrored image there, of course. As for what do we have here? I think this is the shot directions coming. Actually, no, this is actually the action zones coming. Actually, 29% of all the action zones for Rovers are in the opposition third, 27% for Millwall in the opposition third, 27% is in the defensive third, 29% in Rovers defensive third, and 42% in the middle for Rovers, 45% in the middle for Millwall, of course. As for what do we have down here, bottom left, this is where the shots come in. On average, 4% for Rovers within their 6-yard area, 12% for Millwall, 59% within the 18-yard box, 52% for Millwall, and 36% long-range bad boys. That's for both sides there. And then wrapping it up here, short directions, of course, coming at you for Rovers, 64% down the middle, 72% down the middle for Millwall, 21% down the left, 15% down the right for Rovers, and 16% down the right, and 12% down the left for Millwall. That's the shots and figures there for you. That's on average. When we'll see the games, of course. But again, it's a completely, we can expect something completely different come kickoff on Wednesday. Of course, let's take a close look at the expected start line for me. This is what I've gone with right here. Of course, Comiskey between 6, Douglas, Lenihan, Wharton, and Nyambe. Now, Douglas and Wharton did pick up injuries in the last match against Barnsley, but the gaffer said that they should be good enough to feature at least some minutes anyway. I've gone with of course a core German midfield there, Treiber and Holtby again to continue the range. We are still edging closer to get some fresh legs back. Of course, I think potentially the Brentford game we may see Rovers bringing on old Bradley Dacarino back. That could be a little feisty match for him, of course. So a Tribal Holtby in the middle there, Rothwell as well. Key man for me. Brereton, Armstrong and Gallagher gets the nod over Elliott. Of course, Gallagher scoring last round, of course, the winning goal, in fact, against Barnsley. Goals in there, of course, it's at Ewood Park. Hopefully they can all gel together and get ourselves a which would be a third win on the bounce. We don't see that very often for Rovers. As for the opposition, here is their expected line. We're going with a 4-2-3-1 expected. Blakowski, good goalkeeper between the sticks. Wallace at left back, Leonard at right back, Cooper and Hutchinson in the middle. Williams and Woods make up the defensive midfielders there with Thompson, Bud Farton, Wallace and Parrott up top. Not seen. I don't want to say this, but Parrott's not scored that many goals so far this season. Whereas goals are, we'll have a look at the stats and figures of where the goals have come from in a minute. But Bud Farton has scored a couple of goals against Rovers in a Reading outfit a couple of seasons ago at Ewood. So he's one threat that we need to bear in mind about. But all in all, the key man for me, I think Blakowski is one of the best keepers in the division, and he was linked with Rovers before he joined Millwall, of course. So yeah, good pick up there. Of course, who else is pretty savvy? Wallace also very good set piece taker as well. Which Wallace am I talking about? I think it's the one up top there. And Wallace is a good defensive midfielder as well. Cooper as well, solid centre back. So it's like a good hard, traditional Britishish sort of team here, and it's going to be tough to break down. They are a tough side, Millwall. They might not have been in the best bit of form, but ultimately I think this is going to be a tough old game, whether it is played at home or away, with or without fans. It's always tough against Millwall. Anyway, let's take a look at what we got on here. Of course, here are the stats and figures. Armstrong's got himself 14 goals so far to his name. Johnson got himself 3. Gallagher's got 3 there as well. And Brereton, of course, the race for second spot now is on. I think, what's his name? Tyree Stone's also got 3 goals as well. As for the yellow cards, Johnson's got himself 5. He's back in contention. In fact, he would probably likely to start against Tribal if there's going to be a change. I think Johnson would potentially come back. He does provide a bit of an engine in midfield, breaks things down a little bit, and he's got a shot on him as well. Tribal's also got 3 yellows as well. Leonard's got 3, and Rothwell's got 3. No red cards to boot. That's not good, and keep that bad boy coming on. As for goals for Millwall, 5 for Wallace. I told you about Matt Smith, the doctor. Not that doctor, and if he was the doctor, he would be wearing a Rovers outfit, of course, because he's the doctor, that is, Matt Smith, is a Rovers supporter. Just putting that out there. Leonard, of course, 2 goals, and Connor Mahoney. Where's he? Is he injured? He hasn't been featured in the past few games. Anyway, Leonard's got himself 4 yellows, 3 for Woods, 2 for Hutchinson, and 2 for Williams as well. No reds as well for Millwall. Could this be the day? With, of course, the Tricky Meisters added. Of course, heading into this, Rovers coming to this unbeaten in the last 5 games. That's pretty good. They're winning 3 of them, winning 3 and drawing 2. Of course, the home form is not the best though. Just it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Picking up back-to-back wins, of course, against Barnsley and Preston. Before that, we drew with Luton back in towards the end of November. We also beat QPR last time at Ewood Park, as well as drawing with Middlesbrough. On the flip side, Millwall coming to this draw specialist. Look at that, 5 draws on the spin in all competitions. Drawing with Birmingham just the other day on the 28th of November. They're also coming to this with a draw against Reading, of course. Big result that, and also a draw against Cardiff. They ain't slouches, of course, and also picking up a draw against Norwich. So good, strong results against teams, that are above them and around them and all that kind of stuff, and also teams that are struggling a little bit. But that's that, of course. What do we got going on? Well, I'm going backwards. I'm going bloody backwards. Of course, this is the form heading into this. Of course, home form compared to Millwall's away form. Rovers winning, unbeaten last 3 at home, pick up 2 wins and a draw. We did have a little bit of a blip there against Cardiff, Forest and Reading. So realistically, if you go a couple of games back, we actually we'll win this in 4 prior to that. On the flip side, Millwall coming to this unbeaten on the road at the last 5 games, pick up 2 wins and 3 draws to boot. What is on the horizon for us? Of course, Brentford on the weekend. Of course, David Raya reunion, of course, and hopefully maybe the Bradley Dacarino debut from the bench, perhaps. And then Bristol City. So really 2 tough, tricky games for Rovers on the horizon. In fact, 3 games are really tough there. If we could get 5 points out of that, I think we'll be rolling in pig shit. That's what I think. I'm like really happy, like a pig in poop. Of course, heading, and then after that we got Rotherham on the 16th of December, and then Stoke away. So it's again, there's no givens here in the Championship. Of course, as for Millwall heading into this, of course they take on Derby on the weekend. Wayne Rooney's Derby. Will it still be Wayne Rooney's Derby? It's back-to-back home games for them. Then QPR following Tuesday. Then it's Middlesbrough, of course, on the road, and then Bristol City, and then Forest, and night at the conclusion of their 5-match run there. What do we have here? Of course, this is the last 6 in all all competitions, both home and away. When I say last 6, I mean last 5. It is last 6. It should have been last 6. It is last 6. 3 wins for Rovers, 1 win for Millwall, and 2 bloody draws. That 1 win for Millwall was last time around in Millwall, was 1-0 win back in July. Of course, it was towards the back end of the season where it kind of killed off any hopes of the top 6. As for Rovers, though, we've just lost once in the past last 6, so that's how you look at it that way. Last time, of course, out at Ewood was a 2-0 win for Rovers back in September 2019. Derek Williams and Bradley Decarino on the score sheet. So yeah, we've played okay against them in all competitions recently, but let's take a look at the form at Ewood Park. It was not that great. 1, 2, 3, 4 games unbeaten, though, against Millwall at home. So the last time we suffered a defeat was against Millwall back in 2013 in the FA Cup, and it was Danny Shitu, what a shitmeister, with a goal scorer there on the 42nd minute. And we also lost against Millwall as well back in 2012. Chris Wood, is that the Dingle, Chris Wood? James Henry on the score sheet as well with a 2-0 loss. That's back in the Championship 2012. But 4 games unbeaten. So yeah, I'm optimistic that we can make it another one. Last time out, of course, we already talked about Williams and Decarino there on the score sheet, of course. Let's take a look at the form table as it stands heading into this bad boy. Norwich lead the charge at the moment. 6 at the last 6 games, winning 4 and drawing 2. Brentford not too far away either. Rovers up to 5th. That's what we're talking about, lads. That's what we're talking about. Down where are our opposition? Millwall are actually down in 21st spot, so not only picking up 5 points out of possible 18, having won in the past 6. That's how you look at it that way. Of course, let's take a look at the home form. Rovers come into this in the home form, not the best, in 15th spot. I'm picking up 8 points out of possible 18. Watford lead the charge there. As for Millwall, even though they're away, they're in 18th spot, so they're probably better playing away than they are at home at the moment. And we'll confirm that right here, right now. They're actually sitting in 9th in the form table, away from home, unbeaten in the last 5. Of course, Norwich sit at the top of the table. Rovers doing well as well, but again, we're not away, we're on the home. What else is going on? Of course, this is the overall look at the Championship possession teams. The top possession teams at the moment are Norwich, with Huddersfield not too far away either. Rovers into the top 5 though, with 56.6% average possession. On the as the most aggressive side though, it's still Sheffield Wednesday with 24 yellows and 4 reds to boot. No sign of Millwall there. On the flip side, Aerial Duels 1. Rovers hanging on in there in 5th spot with 53% point average success rate with the Aerial Duels. Cardiff lead the charge there with 59.5%. Birmingham not too far away either. As for shots per game, Norwich leading the charge there with 16.5 shots per game. Rovers up to 15.1. Bournemouth, Cardiff and Brentford make up the top 5. As for the pass accuracy, Norwich lead the charge there, 83.1. Rovers up to 80.1 into 2nd spot, and then Bournemouth, Brentford and Huddersfield running are in 2nd spot behind Rovers, who average the best ratings per player out in the chat, according to WhoScored.com. So that's that. A quick look at the situation out in the goal scoring charts. Adam Armstrong still leads the charge by 1 of Ivan Toney, of course, who was in 2nd spot. Lucas Chow not too far away either, ex-Rover, of course. Timu Pukki, Tyrese Campbell, Ayu Pedro, Maite, Luke Landon Dykes and Scott Sinclair make up the top 10. As for the most key assist members, of course, to follow with Huddersfield's got himself 5, Olise and Mbembo, and Campbell also got himself 5, with Semba out of Watford got himself 4 to boot. Indeed. Of course, look at the situation, what's going on this week. Of course, games taking place today. As I said, I'm a little bit late behind the times with this one, and hence why this preview is not my traditional sort of format. But Cardiff taking on Huddersfield, of course, on Tuesday night. Birmingham against Barnsley in the Battle of the Bees. Bournemouth against Preston as well on Tuesday night. QPR against Bristol City. Derby against Coventry. Wayne Rooney's Derby, of course, and Rotherham against Brentford. Tomorrow will be Middlesbrough against Swansea, Wickham against Stoke, Forest against Watford, Luton Town against Norwich, and Sheffield Wednesday against Reading. Of course, Rovers taking on Millwall as well. But this is the situation out in the league as it stands. Norwich lead the charge, 28 points at the moment. Bournemouth are in 2nd. Bournemouth 3rd, Swansea 4th, Reading 5th, and Bristol 6th. Bristol City, that is. Derby, Sheffield Wednesday, and Wickham going down as it stands, but that could all change. Rovers coming to this in 9th, mathematically potentially shot at top 6 with a win. Say could be said, well, not really. Millwall, if they were to be victorious in 11th, they could actually go as high as 7th in the bloody league, of course. And that's pretty much all I've got for you for the most part. But what about the fans on social media? Let's take a little look at what's been going on the BRFCS.com forum. They're always vocal over there, so let's take a look at what's been said on that bad boy. So let's kick it off with Darren Rover, who opened up the post back on Thursday. He said, the second of a series of 2 home games, we welcome the Lions of Bermondsey, Millwall to Ewood Park as a result of COVID-19. Harry the dog and the chums will have to watch on iPlayer among the rest of us. They currently sit 1 point above ourselves, having drawn 7th and 13th. Again, this was before our result against Barnsley. So we'll kick on further anyway. Philip L said this, first time I think. Next unread topic has taken me to 3 match threads. Millwall currently above us. That's a bunch of shite. We'll keep on forward. Let's go up to ones that are a bit more recent. We'll talk about Saturday onwards. Having got the Barnsley fixture out of our system, but still finished up with 3 points and expect a completely different type of match from Millwall. Whereas Barnsley did their best to take a game to us, I really expect Mo to sit deep and invite us on, hoping to hit us on the break and at the worst, safeguard our point. We really do need to win this fixture to throw a marker down. After this, we've got Bristol City and Brentford away. 7 points for the next 3 fixtures, and we'd be really set up to be in with a shout. That's, of course, Dan Rover, of course, responding to the comments above him. Meanwhile, 1864 Rover writes this: the name of Wednesday's game will be patience. Millwall are set up not to lose and nick a goal on the break before reverting to defensive mode. They will come to batter Rovers. They will come to batter Rovers, as I don't think they'll have the skill or ability to close us down like Barnsley did. Although tough game, we take any kind of win, no matter how ugly it is. Joey Bigno said this: should win this game, and no easy games in the Championship though. Next 3 after that quite challenging: Brentford, Bristol and Norwich. End of those 4 games, we will have a decent view of what we can expect this season. In my gut, we feel much more like a genuine top 6 side than any time in the last 7 or 8 years. Got a top goal scorer, top keeper, good defence and a good midfield system. Everyone is bought into. Depth on the bench, young players playing well, top players to come back from injury. Hard to pick out a weakness apart from the simple fact we don't have as much quality as Norwich, Watford or Bournemouth. Starting 11 wise, I think we will be same team except Johnson and Gallagher will start in favour of Tribal and Elliott. That's pretty much what I said. We'll kick on forward. Hoochie Boochie Mama. Mill last 5, 1-0, drawn 5, scored 2, conceded 2. Should be a cracker, he says. Philip L said, whatever he said. Crouching Nunchinden Cucumber. Whatever he said. This is an absolute grind. Tradition says we're drawing this one, but we've just won a game we probably didn't deserve to lose the first time in God knows how long. So perhaps Weird Buck can buck the trend. Admiral Nelson said this: let's see what the future holds, but I'm hopeful for the back end of the season. Sufficient proportion of the population will be whatever. He's talking about something else. I'm just ploughing through these guys. Of course, you can enjoy it yourself. Philip L said, watched a few Millwall highlights and they are not as dire as the results suggest. Wallace is very dangerous with set pieces. We know about that. They also know how to ride their luck at the back. Going to be important for Rovers to press high up. Tom Phil said this: I can see a similar game to Saturday with another of the division's well-established hard grafting sides. As always, if we get out of the blocks early and get a lead, we should likely win comfortably. Longer it goes, though, I can see us having to come from behind. So another tough day at the office. We won't ride the luck again like Saturday too often without losing. 2-2, he says on this one. Any more? Ben the Beast says, feel this is a huge game. Win and we go into a tougher run of games right in the mix and with confidence high. Anything else and the pressure is heaped on. Even if we manage to win this game and have an average run of games thereafter, it should keep us in touching distance. It's the proverbial springboard this game. So important. I'd love to see another win ground out in the same fashion we did against Barnsley. Rightly or wrongly, I'm always make the assumption Mill play route 1. I'd like to see Wharton remain for his presence in the air. If he's fit, can't see any team pressing as high as Barnsley did, so a lot will come down to our ability to break them bloody down. And that's probably much all I've got for you on that regard. Let's jump into the team bank and let's take a little look. Let's take a closer look at, of course, what's gone on elsewhere. Before we bounce out of here, quick look at some of the players that have played for both Blackburn Rovers and Millwall. Pick your favourites out of this bad boy. Lucas Neal, he was good, but he of course ended on a sour note. DJ Campbell, not for me. Kevin Davis, of course. Liam Fielding. Conor Mahoney, of course. Ben Marshall, he's ended up in some weird ass place in the world, playing football at a young age. I don't know what's going on with him. But yes, Simeon Jackson, of course, and there was a story to forget there. That's, of course, pick your favourite out of that. That's a challenge right there. But that's, of course, players that have played for both Blackburn Rovers, of course. What about our friend Digicast? What does she think will happen in this match between Rovers and Millwall down at Ewood Park? Digicast, it's over to you. All I've got for you today, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that thumbs up. If you're new, bang your subscribe button. Keep you back up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. That's right, boys and girls. We've got it all here on the Bonds Brewski. So make sure you check out the links down below: Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and all that kind of jazz. I'm trying to get my numbers up onto Twitch, so make sure you check that out. Smash the follow on there. It's free. It costs you nothing. I'm trying to get my numbers up there because the more numbers, the more likely I can unlock some more perks and privileges for me, which can also unlock some perks and privileges for you. So make sure you check that out. Also, if you want to support the channel in another way, just like Humphrey did, you can become the latest member of the Patreon gang. We're trying to get up to 25 in the old Patreon gang, so we're too shy from that. So make sure you check that sucker out. And again, we might be doing a watch along for this one. I'm off tomorrow, so we should be able to watch this game. It's just all the matter on what's going on elsewhere behind the scenes. So it's, let's say, 50% likely it's going to be a Patreon, a watch along, and it will be on YouTube and Twitch and Facebook. So make sure you come and watch me. Watch me, watch you. Watch me, watch you. Watch me, watch the game. Anyway, that's it, my friends. Until then, be sure to bang the thumbs up, bang subscribe, and I'll see you all on the other side. Come on, Rovers! Let's make it 3 wins out of 3.